Welcome guys to our first ever live stream video. We have with us Team Indus and have Mr. Satish, a thermal Jedi Knight who works for the thermal management of the rover. We have with us Mr. Paul Edward, who is also known as the Rover Skywalker, who is specialized in rover mechanism design. And we also have the Jedi Trooper, Miss Monica, who manages marketing and outreach for Team Indus. And I think we also have Mr. Arnish. Mr. Arnish works for avionics or the electronic systems of the rover. Am I right, sir?
That's correct.
Yes, so, sir, it's an honor for all of us. Team Indus has also achieved a terrestrial milestone. Sir, Sir, ma'am, can you please elaborate on that?
Sure. So we are part of this Google Lunar X Prize competition, and to check the progress of different teams, they organize these terrestrial milestone awards. We won the award for the landing category. So landing on the moon is one of the most complicated maneuvers in our mission, and we successfully demonstrated that our structure is capable of withstanding all the loads during the launch, as well as enduring a landing on the moon. That's what won us the prize. I think Paul Schultz from the side can tell you some more details.
So this is just to check the technical readiness of a team in this. Basically, during launch, you'll be experiencing around 30 Gs of force, and your spacecraft basically will be vibrating crazily. So it's like it will be very intense. During the time, to just check if our lander or spacecraft could withstand that amount of load or vibrations, we did vibration test, as well as to check the stiffness or the structure's capabilities or stress withstanding capabilities. So we did a drops test in HAL Bangalore, and it was found out that our structure is capable of withstanding all loads that could be experienced during launch as well as on landing. So this is one of the tests that won us $1 million and put us in the top 3 teams in the competition almost.
Okay, sir. So that's very big achievement for an Indian team, especially, and
a great start for all of you.
Yeah, and to do this in India, that also requires a lot of guts. Yeah, now on to you.
So for our viewers to ask question to this awesome Star Wars guys, the hashtag is the crazy ones with the Indus on our Twitter and the Facebook. Submit our questions as much as you can, and you can directly submit this on the crazy ones page.
First of all, how did Team Indus, that is Axiom Research Labs, begin? What was your start? How did you get established, first of all?
We got to know about GLXP sometime in 2010, and at that time we realized there were no Indian teams taking part in this GLXP competition. I hope you guys know what is GLXP competition. Yeah, let me tell you about GLXP, Google Lunar X Prize. So they came up with a highest incentive so far with $30 million, and it's like whoever sends a spacecraft to the moon, lands there, and drove there for 500 meters and sent back some HD videos and images back to Earth like as witness or proof, then we will be winning that $30 million prize money. So when we got to know that there is no Indian team taking part in this one, then we thought like, let's say a competition of this high magnitude to go without an Indian team, then they registered for GLXP, and that's how Team Indus is born. So it's like set of like-minded people coming together to live our moonshot. So our only aim is like all of us, we are ordinary people just trying to put our Indian tricolor on the surface of it.
That's very patriotic, I must say. Yeah, and now on to you.
So can you just start with the demonstration of the rover? We are very keen to see the rover.
It's one of your main attractions.
Ramp deployment and the mechanics involved and its effects on the rover's deployment, which is critical for the mission.
So I'll be demonstrating the rover to you now.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now this right here is our rover. It is a prototype which is not made out of the material that we'll be using on the moon, but we are using this to test certain mechanisms. This is our test bed here. Paul works very closely with it. I work on the electronics of the rover. Today I'm going to be controlling it with a cell phone.
So is there an app or something that lets you control?
Yeah, the page from which I access this rover.
Oh, okay.
And it's on a bed of very fine sand, so to say. Rock dust, it is actually rock dust. That's sorry. That is the rover in motion, and I know it might seem very slow, but it's designed centimeters per second. And the reason for doing this is we want to be very careful on the moon so that we don't hit any obstacles.
So for the movement of rover, what type of surface that are you using here?
Okay, we chose rock dust because of the cohesive nature of the rock as well as the water retaining capabilities of the rock dust. So on moon you won't have any moisture, and the cohesion between the particles is around 1 kilopascal. So this is one of the samples that came close to the rock's lunar surface. So we chose basically rock dust, and the size is around 150 microns, and it's very fine and it's very small. Like you could inhale it and possibly get into a coughing fit. But so this we chose because its cohesive nature is very similar to lunar surface, or also called as lunar regolith. So that's about the surface. You want to know about the mechanisms?
Yeah.
Okay, so our rover is designed in such all 4 wheels must maintain ground contact at all times, just to have a proper stability case. So we have rocker arms. I hope you can see this. So we have rocker mechanism here, basically a seesaw mechanism. So even when it is climbing over rocks of around 150 mm, so 150 mm is basically 15 centimeter, similar to a short size scale. So we get that information from the design team who study the landing area, and so basically we have this mechanism just to make sure all 4 wheels touch the ground at all times. Like we are not in air, just to have stability, and that will be properly explained when we go into the ramps deployment cases, because it's closely related to that. And also, do you know how it's being steered? How it turns? Okay, so we use a mechanism called skid steering. So it's basically like
you can see how it is turning without moving forward. It's just skidding. Wheels on one side are moving forward, on the other side the wheels are moving backwards, which enable our rover to turn. So this is one of a very unique mechanisms that I had not seen before joining Team Indus. And let me tell you, working at Team Indus, it's like you have people from all different branches of engineering. Systems will have to perform under, and when we talk more about the thermal systems, you will really appreciate the kind of effort that needs to be taken while designing these systems.
So you know where are you going to land on the moon, and what is the 500 meter radius around your craft?
Is that decided yet?
Actually, we are planning to land at a site like which is known as Mare Imbrium, which is known as Sea of Rain. The Latin name is Mare Imbrium. So once after landing there, so it depends like on the climatic conditions and where we are, at zone we are, we will decide at that time when we will move to 500 meters.
Okay.
If Is that your question? Did I answer you or like did I miss something?
Yeah, you did answer it.
Let's begin about some other topic that we are very curious about. What are your views about Planet X that has been so famous nowadays?
The ninth planet.
To put on a disclaimer before I say anything, it's like we have the same information that you guys have, and probably you guys would have more information reading too much articles on that, because I know how interesting that is, and because I read a few articles too. And from the information that I have, or that we at Team Indus have, this Planet X seems to be a gas giant. To affect, basically how they found out this is because they found out some gravitational irregularities or irregularities in Neptune's orbit. Because there seemed to be something further away from what we can see or what we can observe. And basically this theory was proposed stating that there is another gas giant whose gravitational pull is affecting the orbit of Neptune.
Okay. So this is in the Oort cloud, or is it in the interior of our solar system?
So it is theorized to be a part of Mr. Brown, who Mr. Brown and his colleagues at Caltech Pasadena, when they gave out this information, they theorized that it's based on, it is within the solar system. It is, you know, Mr. Brown, he is called the planet slayer, or the famous guy who kicked out Pluto from the solar system.
Yeah.
So he is the same guy. He is the same guy who has theorized about this new planet. He has been working on this from 2002 almost, and so it is one of his theories. So,
any competition to Jupiter, this gas giant?
I don't think it's as big as Jupiter. When I say gas giant, it's not on the range of Jupiter, but it's on the range of Neptune.
Oh, that's fine.
So, if you have to go to Planet X, then what types of rockets should be used? Reusable or non-reusable? So, this brings us to the next question of today. Is it safe for manned e-travel?
Is reusable rockets
Safe for manned e-travel?
It's all theory now because our rocket capabilities that we have, the technology that we have currently with us as humans or as one humanity, we do not have that technology to go more than Mars now. Or basically we can do it, but the time that it takes, it's not feasible. We need to come up with better technology for propulsion. I read a recent article stating that two scientists were able to create or move a particle at light speed or more than that. That was said today. I'm pretty sure it is not in use much, but so possibly I think given a decade or given 2 decades, we'll be at the stage where we can achieve travel such stuff. Hello?
Hello? I think that the audio is actually perfect, but the video is actually faulty.
Okay, so can we continue on audio then?
Yes, no problem.
Yeah, so when we talk about reusable rockets, the scale at which they are being used to launch satellites into Earth's orbit, or when you talk about something like commercial space tourism, taking a few humans to the edge of our atmosphere and, you know, let experience the feel of zero gravity. But these reusable rockets are not really being looked at for interplanetary missions. I mean, they are being looked at, but right now we don't have any tests that have been done. So it's very difficult to comment on that nature. But yes, for near-Earth users, yes, it is very exciting to see these reusable rockets.
What do you think about, people are saying that there will be space tourism nowadays, as you mentioned, but how do you think that holds potential?
When you say space tourism, does it mean that you travel a few kilometers outside the Earth, spend some time and come back, or is it going to be interplanetary missions?
I am talking about actually both, because, for example, a family says that oh look, we've got to go on a vacation. Let's go to Jupiter, or let's go to space. Let's go to the moon, or something like that.
Interesting thing about the space travel is that yes, countries like Russia and US and probably China will also have something called, or you cannot afford to miss any anticipations that can think that the things can go wrong. So that is still far away. Okay, but coming back to the question on the space travel, I think I answered for the space travel around Earth. But interplanetary missions, I think it will take time. The reason for that is there is a enormous amount of fuel required to transport back where we were just, Adish just mentioned some time back about the reusable vehicles. So that will take definitely a long time. Instead, you might find it interesting to note that there is lot of planning going on to settle, establish living facilities or colonies on the moon surface, and also they are looking at Mars.
Yeah, Mars one.
You might be listening to a lot of moon and Mars mission going on. So exactly, these are the things that institutes or space institutes are looking for, is to establish a living colony over there. So yes, space travel can happen this way, that you can go to Mars, but I cannot really answer when, but surely around after 10 years we might have some capability.
Well, that's quite early. It actually holds a great value to us. Space is something like a mystery to us. We need to know what's out there.
You just take it as a fantasy for us. You are one of a kind of company that motivates the country. So, how can a privately funded spacecraft company can grow in India?
More privately funded spacecraft company can grow in India.
So, so the way it is that, yeah, definitely it's a privately funded company, and definitely we are looking at different options. Probably, I think I'll give it to Monica, who can talk better on this.
Okay. Hi, ma'am.
Hi. I'm just thinking what to answer because it's a tricky question itself. So right now, if you think about like space agencies in India, people think about only ISRO. So we are the first private individual or like company in India who's going to land on the surface of the moon. Hopefully, once after we land, then many other companies will start growing. Then people start like thinking those companies very seriously, not like us initially when we came. Like people were like, "Are you kidding? Are you seriously going to moon? Are you going to reach there, land there?" kind of question. Hopefully, we'll do that. We will land on the surface of moon, and then we will inspire many people, many students like you guys. And actually, wherever we go, people ask us like, how can we help you in this mission? That's one thing we want to tell everyone. So when ISRO launched Chandrayaan 1, all of us, we watched it on TV live, then we were thinking, oh yes, India did this one. But you guys can be part of the mission, like when we launched our team in the spacecraft, you can feel like, even I'm part of the mission. So all you have to do is like, we are collecting 1 million names on a cube, which will go in our spacecraft and which will reach the moon surface. Okay, so all you have to send is register your name. You can send your name to moon. You have to pay 500 for each name. So you can back us in this mission and help us in reaching moon. Just tell your parents right now to open back.teamindas.in and start sending your names to moon.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely. You've definitely inspired us, if no one else. We are all your fans.
So are you going to send your name to moon?
Definitely. I so want my name over there.
Sure. Not only yours, make sure you send your loved ones' names too. Your parents, family, friends, everyone.
You can actually, we'll try for our school. We have many other friends who are not so fortunate to be here in your company, but definitely we have great friends who can actually help you in this task of inspiring India and maybe even the world.
That's great to know. Thank you for your support. We will look forward for it.
Yeah. So the next question. Let's come back to the next question. So we all know that recently in 2014 there was the launch of the famed Mangalyaan and that also came in the Times top 50 inventions of 2014. So that was big stuff. And we also nowadays hear rumors that ISRO is planning to man travel to the space station. Means Indian rocket in going to ISS.
So, if you are talking about the manned mission from ISRO, yes, there have been plans from ISRO. That's what we have heard about. But if you ask us the progress, we don't know. But as like a very logical way, everybody has to go one step further, and manned mission is definitely the next step for India to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we actually have a question from
However,
one
I
of
would
our
like to
viewers. Arya,
I would like to add to that if you look at the this program, it has been very application oriented. So whatever missions give results which can be directly used for the betterment of our nation, like let's say telecommunication, weather forecasting, these will always have a higher priority. So I expect to see a slower progress on the manned missions, but yes, definitely we are developing that capability and we will reach there. Going slow, that doesn't mean we don't have the capability for that. It's just that our focus area is different.
That definitely makes sense. Okay, we have an audience question for you. One of our viewers, Arya Agarwal, is very curious to know about whether you are using hydrogen as a fuel because it is actually the ideal fuel out there. It was for us to study last year. We were asking whether you are using hydrogen as a fuel because it is actually an ideal fuel which
value.
highest calorific value and a very low ignition temperature. So, are you going to use that or planning to use it in the future?
Well, yes, you rightly pointed out that hydrogen is an ideal fuel, has a higher heat value and definitely produce. But one of the many parts of the challenge or the technical challenge is how do you carry so much hydrogen in that form? So what does the technology talk about?
So I mean, I don't know the exactly what they have. So they are planning to burn hydrogen in Earth and liquid oxygen in space. So is it a merit or demerit for the future travel?
Your views on it?
Well, okay. I will just explain to you how hydrogen is exactly used. If you have heard about cryogenic engine, I'm sure you must have heard. So there are various different rockets ranging from the entire rocket to the some stages of rocket. So typically hydrogen can burn and produce a lot of heat value, useful heat value, but it also requires oxygen to burn. On Earth, definitely we can find our own oxygen, but if you are going for space missions, you have to carry your oxygen together. Same goes in the satellite as well, and how you want to store that also is a very big question in front of hydrogen. So there are different technologies where you absorb the hydrogen and then release it systematically and reuse it. It has been demonstrated in some of the applications, like if you take some fuel cells or cameras, portable cameras. Yes, those technologies have been demonstrated, but on a very smaller scale. So if you travel or you use a cryogenic engine in space, yes, it can be used or it is being used, but in satellites, I don't think it has still that application.
We have an audience question for you. What are your views on the aliens? We are able to see some aliens in USN. So what are your views on aliens?
Do you not think about it?
Yeah, I mean, so it is very selfish of us it would be very selfish of us to think that we are the only planet with life. But so far, there has not been much concrete evidence of, alien life existing. But given the vastness of our universe, it is highly unlikely that we are the only ones. So it's just a matter of if we will be able to find them, if we will be able to communicate with them. But I'm like, probabilistically speaking, there must be aliens, is what I personally feel.
Thinking optimistically, maybe aliens exist. That's why we are sending names to Moon. So whenever they come to Moon, they will read all your names and our names there, right?
Yes, right.
So, and can you please elaborate on the so-called study of aliens also known as astrobiology.
Right. There are quite a few interesting videos on YouTube by Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson on this topic. If you are really interested, you might want to check them out later.
Surely, sir.
Great, actually. Well, we would also like to know whether I had read somewhere that mostly stars orbit each other and circle around each other. So doesn't that make the Goldilocks zone a little bit different than other solar systems or even the other galaxies that are nearby, like Andromeda?
So basically, when there is one a zone around the sun or a heat source in space, basically a star, it's called the Goldilocks zone. So if such a zone could exist, then we could expect life to be formed in that particular zone. Depending on the depending on the heat source, that zone may vary, because the Goldilocks zone allows for water formation to occur, and from the theory of evolution, you could agree that if there is water, then you could know life form exists. Any form of life form. It's not sentinel beings or beings that could react, but basically beings even on a microscopic level. So such is possible, is what I believe, if such a planet could exist within that zone that allows life form to be created.
I guess
Definitely fascinating. And do you think that sometime in the future there might be something like Star Wars, like, okay, let's go to Aquilon, let's go to Jakku?
Yep. So Jadu at the moment is presently out of our scope of study. So when we go into that mode, definitely we'll try to reach Jadu.
Interplanetary missions, like you said, could be militarized, like how you saw in the movies. Possibly you're getting ideas from Star Wars, which you might have watched very recently. So such missions are possible. So you cannot discredit anything that when we are at a very lower stage of the technological evolution that we have now, because we have to go much more than what we are right now to be at a stage where at an instantaneous level that you expect in sci-fi to be made into a reality. Such could be made true, but it will take some time for us to realize what it takes for us, or the technological evolution that we need to reach that particular stage.
So we have another question from audience. So should we be worried about creating a black hole?
Like black holes sucking our planet inside it and eliminating all forms of life. Should we be worried about that? Because we've been reading that black holes can be useful also in many ways.
We should not be really worried about the black hole. The reason for that is because the one black hole which is closest, I don't remember, it's still very, very far away, or it is supposed to be existing in the center of our galaxy. So we are quite far away from our galaxy, so I don't think we should be really worried about the black holes. As a matter of fact, before the black hole occurs, I think the sun will get depleted by burning all of it.
become a red giant.
Could happen in another maybe 4 to 5 million years later.
So I have a personal question a bit for you. If you get a chance in working in ISRO or NASA, would you work privately or go to that institution?
Your question has something to do with if given a choice, will we work for ISRO, NASA, or will we work privately? Is that
So you got it.
I think you should not be working really on the brand names, but you should be working where your interest takes you. If you find good interest in Team Indus, if you find great interest in NASA or even in ISRO, you should be pursuing that technically. Because
For today's generation or for the future, who will be better, the public sector of space exploration or the private sector of space exploration?
So you cannot expect, you cannot put everyone on the same scale. But on a technological level, yes, you can. But mission-wise is how I think you are getting ideas from. Is every country right now has their own ideas on what missions to go on based on their financial capabilities and the technological capabilities and what their interest is focused on currently. So there are different countries that are much more advanced, but they focus on completely different things, completely different space technologies.
Oh.
So you cannot, as Sir suggested, you cannot put all your bet on a single brand name because that would be completely foolish, I would say. So if you, there are many genius people who have come out of Cambridge and Oxford and MITs. So why would people still go there if they're not going to get recognitions or just for that? It's their ideas, it is their focus, it is their capabilities, and it is their dream to what they want to accomplish. So based on that, they streamline that and they focus on that particular mission, get it done. So that's how I think every space company in the world is currently doing.
In the past few years, a lot of private companies have come into the picture. You have companies building big constellations like Planet Labs, Skybox. So this is the era where you are seeing much more private participation in the space industry than it has been ever before. So in the days to come, I think the field, this sector will be much more diverse.
Definitely add pace to the existing technologies.
When will the moonshot thinking that was enthralling in the US back in the late 1960s, when will this type of space exploration enthusiasm or ideology will install and energize our generation?
Okay, so that's why we call this the Moon 2.0. So the whole idea of Google Lunar X Prize is to bring back the whole private industries into the space field. Yeah, so you can see that there are many people who are interested in the space industry right now, and on our Facebook page itself, you can see so many followers, and even you are one of those. We are connected right now. So this definitely is increasing the thrill towards the journey to the moon and into the space industry.
If you're asking us by when we expect to launch, that is going to be sometime in 2017.
Yes, it is actually perfect. With this, I think that it will be perfect if Rohan concludes our session.
It was great talking to you guys, and we hope we can hang out in air again. And it was really good for an Indian team to sign up for the big Google X Prize.
All right, so we would like to conclude our session. Thank you very much. This is the Freely team signing off.
Yeah, thank you and all the
Thank you
best.
so much. Thank you so much. Bye.